he had for Kelsey Plum. And it's going viral because a lot of people are coming at him in a variety of ways for different reasons. He is an NFL football player, and they was married for 1 year, and then they ultimately got a divorce. And he had wrote a song called "Who Knew." And I just want to just kind of just express some of my opinions on the situation, because I think a lot of people are expressing their opinions on the song. And he talked about, basically how he felt Kelsey Plum had stabbed him in the back, and how he put himself out there and how much he loved her, cared for her, took care of her. And then it was all for naught because he felt like he was blindsided um, when they end up getting a divorce. And it just goes to show you, man, marriage is a beautiful thing. Let me say that first and foremost. Marriage is a beautiful thing, but it's very important to have open dialogue, open communication, because when you don't have open communication, things start to happen. Then next thing you know, man, you're finding yourself getting a divorce. And I think it's quite unfortunate. It really is. It's quite unfortunate when you see that you with your person thought that person was your soulmate, and then all of a sudden it's a divorce. That's tough, man. That's tough. That really is. That's that's a very tough thing to be in, man. I just wanted to say, man, I don't have a problem with his creativity. I'm quite sure there are going to be some of his teammates and some other NFL players that are already ragging on him and picking on him and saying, like, man, you look like a simp, or you look like a chump. You got, you sitting here crying or expressing your feelings like this, like a chump. I'm gonna just tell you like this, man. He says he's singing how he feels, and that's his prerogative, man. I'm not gonna knock the man for expressing his feelings in his songs. He's an artist, right? He's a music artist. And, oftentimes, if you go back and look at a lot of great singers, they talk about their pain. They talk about, you know, their misfortunes. They talk about their breakups. And that's how you get a lot of great music from people who are willing, or a music artist who is willing to open themselves up and talk about their personal life. Now, me per se, in my opinion, um, to each his own. I would not do that. That was something that but I can't say that, because at the end of the day, I might express myself. Because if I feel like that's a part of my healing and I'm able to handle that, who am I to knock somebody who's talking about their divorce and they're able to put it in lyrics in a song? And, I praise him, man, for speaking in his truth. A lot of times, man, you have a lot of people that are faking it. You have a lot of people that are not straight up. You have a lot of people are not living in their truth, and they're devastated. They are not happy. And those type of people are usually the ones that are the strongest critics. Let me say it again. Those type of people who have really harsh things to say about Darren Waller and his song "Who Knew" are really the ones that are not authentic themselves. Everybody have a right to express their life the way they want to express it, the way they want to talk about it. We have to stop this notion. I think that just because he's a football player, he doesn't have feelings. Now, it's very important to note that Kelsey Plum did put out a statement in regards to the song, and she was just saying that how she really, did all that she could. She did everything that she felt that she was supposed to do as a wife, but things seemingly did not work out according to her plan. And she said, unfortunately, they have decided to part ways. And that's unfortunate, man. But at the end of the day, if you're miserable in a marriage, does it serve you to stay in that marriage? Does it serve you? What's going on, Miss D? How you doing? What's going on? Does it serve you to stay in that marriage? If you're not happy, does it serve you to stay in a relationship if you're not happy? Does it? And I think a lot of times this is something that is common, that happens a lot in, especially when you're a celebrity. And a lot of the negative feedback I believe that he's getting is something that, when a man express his feelings, he you have a tendency of some people will say that he's a sucker. He's a sucker for expressing it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think it's okay for, this past month, it was mental health awareness month, right? And for me, every month is mental health awareness. And I think you have to put it in perspective. This could be a part of his healing. This could be a part of his healing. You don't know the load that he has on his shoulder. And I'm quite sure it's a devastating for both parties involved, not just one party. It's a devastating situation when you're talking about going through a divorce and someone who you thought was your soulmate, someone who you love, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're blindsided. And you see this at the end when the white girl right there is supposed to be Kelsey Plum, and they're hugging each other on the beach, and then all of a sudden she pulls out, it seems to be a something that pulls out in the back, like he felt like he got stabbed in the back. And we're not talking about literally, but figuratively. At the end of the day, man, I have no problem with this song from Darren. I wish him all the best, man, moving forward with his professional career, with his job, and also Kelsey Plum. Sometimes in life, relationships don't work out. And guess what, guys? It's okay. Sometimes in relationship, things don't work out the way you want them to, and that's fine. That's totally okay. It's not the end of the world by no stretch of the imagination. It's not the end of the world. He's going to get ragged on. He's been getting ragged on. People were saying, like, I know Stephen A. Smith, he talked about it on his podcast. How, he was kind of ragging on him about expressing his feelings about the song. I have no issues with the song, man. No issue with it at all. Wish him nothing but the best, man. And y'all stay tuned, man. I'm going to actually talk about, I have a lot of things to talk about, man. A lot of things to talk about. Let's kind of go ahead and get right into it, man. I want to talk about the Caitlin Clark and the Miss Carter situation. If you don't know what happened, let me pull it up so you can. Kennedy Carter and Caitlin Clark. We're going to get into it today. We're going to talk about it because there's a lot of things. So right here, you see, this is the file. This is the file right here that's all over on social media, and a lot of people are calling out Kennedy Carter on this foul, and they felt there was a dirty play. Right now, me personally, let me just say it, I didn't particularly like it. I think there are other ways that you can keep it in the realms of basketball, but clearly whatever Caitlin Clark had said to her, it got to her a little bit, where she got her emotions a little bit out of whack. and she really, like, threw her elbow into Caitlin Clark's back, while her back was turned to her. So, necessarily, let me put it first and foremost, I didn't really like the play. Do I feel it was a dirty play? It could be deemed a dirty play, of course, especially when she didn't even have the basketball in her hands. But let me be very clear. There was some jawing that Caitlin Clark started in the previous play. And we're going to play that. We're going to play that. And hopefully they'll show it right here. There was some jawing before this play. Now, I want you to watch this play right here that we're going to play right here. Watch this play so you can see it. Now, you're right, Ms. D. Caitlin Clark hit her in the face before that happened, and she was talking trash after that. Now, let's just look at it, because this is the play right before that. Now, look, Caitlin Clark didn't really hit her in the face, but what happened is that Caitlin Clark clearly had her fist balled up, and she was saying some choice words to her. So right here clearly shows that this is what happens. This is what started the situation. And this is why Kennedy Carter responded the way she responded. So let's go ahead and kind of play it. See that? See that? There's some words that's going on right there. As you can see, Caitlin Clark, she has her fist balled up and she is chirping. I mean, chirping at Kennedy Carter. What she's saying, we don't know, but I can only imagine on the basketball court what she is saying to Kennedy Carter. And, apparently Kennedy Carter did not appreciate the chirping that Caitlin Clark was doing. Now, let's go ahead and listen to this post game right here.
Used to answer questions about the foul after the game.
I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions.
But later.
So Kennedy Carter refused to answer any questions about Caitlin Clark. So she said at the podium, anything in reference to Caitlin Clark, I refuse to answer any questions. Now, one thing I'll give her credit for is that Kennedy Carter showed up to the post game. She showed up. And the reason why I want to talk about that, because Angel Reese decided not to show up to the post game. Which I did not like that. I did not like that. Now, I get it. I get it that it probably was smart, but at the end of the day, though, Miss D, just let's kind of get into it, because I want you to see Angel Reese. If you notice, when Kennedy Carter had elbowed Caitlin Clark and pushed her to the ground, Angel Reese was on the bench. And when she saw what Kennedy Carter did, in a split second, Angel Reese got up off the bench and she was clapping her hands for her teammate. Now, do I have a problem with that? Hey, I don't have a problem with that at all. If you've played sports, this happens in sports. This happens in sports all the time, where teams can get physical, it can get chippy, but you have to control yourself where you don't allow your emotions to get too far out of whack. Now, I will say on the back end on that is that Angel Reese has to understand, when you do that, there's going to be some scrutiny that's going to come your way. Why do I say that? Because it's life. It's because it's Caitlin Clark. It's because there's already been beef between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Yeah, the coach teaspoon, her coach probably was protecting her and told her it's okay for her to skip the press conference. I don't know if I'm gonna put that accountability on the coach. I think it's a little bit unfair to put Spoon in that conversation because we don't know. But what I will say is you have an obligation, the player, and especially when you are a polarizing player like Angel Reese, is that is a part of your job to show up. Show up. Now you have the option to not answer a particular question that the media decides to ask you if you choose not to. All you simply have to do if they this is where I feel that you can't run away when you stand on what you did, stand on what you say. If it's me and a reporter asks me on a post game, hey, we saw that you stood up for your teammate when she had elbow and pushed Caitlin Clark to the ground. Is there any reason why you did that? Well, I support my teammates. I'm a team player. We're not out there to make friends. We're out there to win a basketball game. So at the end of the day, I'm there to support my team. And if the media reporters tries to dig in deeper, well, do you think that's unprofessional? I'm not going to get into all that. All I know is when I play the game, I'm here to have my teammates back. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You have to be able to do damage control and stand on what you did. You don't have to fall back. You don't have to say, I'm not going to the post-game conference. No, show up. That's a part of your job because by you not showing up, you're putting yourself and your team where you end up getting fined by the WNBA. So show up because at the end of the day, I guarantee you this. When the next post game comes up, the media is going to ask questions about Caitlin Clark. You have to understand the environment that you're in. But the thing is, you always have control to control the conversation. You just have to be mature enough to be able to understand this situation. Now, let's kind of go ahead and get into it, man. So I disagree with Angel Reese not showing up to the post-game interview. Show up. Because at the end of the day, you got fined and your team got fined. Show up to the post-game interview, Angel Reese. And I'm a big Angel Reese supporter. The foul, I did not necessarily like the foul at all. I didn't like it, but at the end of the day, they called a flagrant one or they changed it and they upgraded to a flagrant one. Caitlin Clark hit her free throws. You move on. Boom. It happens, right? Now, let's kind of get
Carter
into it
saying
right here.
this on social media.
So this is Kennedy Carter. She's actually on her Thread account, Twitter account, and she was making certain comments. And this is one of the comments she said, and that's that. On that, because beside 3-point shooting, what does Caitlin Clark bring to the table? This is the comments of Kennedy Carter. I'm going to say this. Let me be very clear on what I'm about to say, y'all. Let me be very clear on what I'm about to say here. I don't have a problem with Kennedy Carter expressing her feelings on Twitter, on her Thread social media account. I don't have a problem with it, y'all. I know I was watching Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco, and Shannon Sharp is pretty passionate about the situation. He feels like the same way Charles Barkley feels, and we're going to play that soundbite what Charles Barkley had to say about Caitlin Clark and how really the players should kiss the ring. The WNBA players should kiss the ring basically of Caitlin Clark because she is the reason why they're generating so much revenue for the sport. I want to give some pushback on it because I think it's disrespectful. I think you're disrespecting the other players that are currently playing and been playing before Caitlin Clark entered to the WNBA. And I think these are some of the reasons why that the WNBA is, the players of the WNBA are really going at Caitlin Clark. Y'all can disagree with me all you want, but Deanna Taurasi had told you that this was going to be a learning curve for Caitlin Clark, and that people like Deanna Taurasi are pissed off because so much exposure they feel that they're giving to Caitlin Clark, and she has not proven herself yet. People get in their feelings every time when you speak truth. I am one person that's able to not be so emotional and talk about the truth and the facts of the situation. Does Caitlin Clark bring a media? Yeah, but why is that? Why is that? Why is that? Why is that? Why is there strong pushing behind Caitlin Clark? Because last time I checked, Caitlin Clark never won a national championship in college. Last time I checked, she just started in the WNBA, and it's rough for her. She sees for herself she has to get stronger. She has to make better decision in passing the basketball, not making too many turnovers. And she realized that there is a target on her back. But that's normal. That comes with the territory. She should have expected something like this to happen. When the media is putting her as the GOAT and the savior of the WNBA, you don't think that that's going to piss a lot of veteran WNBA players off? You don't think that's going to raise their level of competition against Caitlin Clark? If you honestly don't believe that, then you are naive. You are very naive. I agree. Every rookie got treated the same. Yes, Angel Reese was roughed up. Angel Reese was better overall in college. The elephant in the room is that she's the great white hype. Yes. Yes. that's the elephant in the room. That's where I was getting at. What is the reason why she's being polarized as like if you put it up to the media, you would think that Caitlin Clark is the best player in the WNBA. Wrong. She's not the best player in the WNBA. Y'all want to know who's the best player in the WNBA? This lady right here. She's the best player in the WNBA. This lady right here. A'ja Wilson. She's a back-to-back champion, and they are on a mission to win their third straight WNBA championship. But you're not hearing a lot of talk about the Las Vegas Acers. You're not hearing a lot of talk about A'ja Wilson. You're not. A'ja Wilson done told you in the interview, if anyone criticizes CC, big or small sports channels, they receive death threats and racial slurs. Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. A lot of times, those type of people don't want to hear the truth. And a lot of times, those type of people hide behind fake social media accounts. And a lot of times, you have to have a strong will to ignore that. You can block them. You could delete the comments. You could even put filters in your actual social media page where you don't have to worry about a lot of negative racial things coming in your comments. It is what it is, man. A lot of people don't like hearing the truth. I get it. The truth hurts sometimes. But at the end of the day, man, we're talking about a situation with Kennedy Carter, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. Let's kind of get into it because I want to show this situation with Angel Reese when she got fouled. Now, this was a very hard. Now, this is an article. They're talking about it. See, this is where I was getting at about with Angel Reese, because it was coming. It was coming. Yeah, Angel Wilson is the truth. I don't care what nobody says. She is the best player in the WNBA right now. I'm gonna give a lot of shout out to Diana Taurasi too as well. Diana Taurasi is 42 years old, y'all. 41, 42 years old. And this girl had 31 points against the Los Angeles Sparks last night or yesterday. The girl Castile is a walking bucket. She's a walking bucket, and she's a great player, Diana Taurasi. So this is where I was getting at with Angel Reese, where she had to know it was coming, that she was going to get a lot of heat for cheering the Caitlin Clark hard foul. At the end of the day, Kennedy Carter is her teammate at the end of the day. And this is what I was talking about on the play when Kennedy Carter had fouled. But look at this play right here. See, to me, that's a flop. That's a flop by Caitlin Clark, man. That's a flop. That's a flop. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now I'm gonna leave your comment up for a brief second, because that's where I was going to get into. When Angel Reese got fouled, which they was playing against the Connecticut Sun. And when you had that girl had literally put her hand around Angel Reese's neck and grabbed it and pulled her down, she could have seriously hurt her. But guess what? I guess when it's black on black, it's not going to get a whole lot of news coverage. But I guarantee you this: if that same player had pulled Caitlin Clark's neck down to the court like she did, we all know what would have happened. I totally agree. This is a flop. This is a flop. Look, this is a flop. It's a flop, man. And it just lets you know how a lot of people are coming at Angel Reese, and it's unwarranted, man. And as long as my platform is, we're going to talk about the truth. I don't care who doesn't like it. We're gonna call it out. And if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, we're gonna call it out. Period. Now, this is the part where Kennedy Carter, her teammate, fouled Caitlin Clark, and look what Angel Reese does. This is Kate. Yep, you see it? She clapping her hand. She got up out of her seat and she clapped her hands. It is what it is, man. I don't have an issue with it. Of course, all the Caitlin Clark fans, they're going to have an issue with it. They're going to try to demonize Angel Reese again. Who cares, man? Who cares? They called a flagrant foul one on Kennedy Carter. You move on, next game, period. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. And at the end of the day, you have a lot of women. Yeah, Angel Reese was like, get her. At the end of the day, man, let's don't act like it's sad that I even have to even say this. Let's don't act like there's going to be kumbaya with teams, man. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. When you're playing professional sports, man, you're there to win a game. You're not there to hold the opposing team's hand. You're not there to cheer and support them and to motivate them, inspire them. If you're not on a team, you want to take the other team out by any means necessary. That's what all competitive players do. When you make it on this level, and you're fortunate enough to make it on a professional level, things like this happen all the time. Period. So miss me with all the people getting in their feelings and all this stuff. It is what it is. period. The only issue I have or had when Angel Reese decided not to show for the post-game interview. Show up, Angel Reese. I support you. Here on Royal Figures, we support you. I appreciate your hustle. I appreciate your game. I still feel, be a little bit more consistent on your jump shot, develop that jump shot, because that's going to open your game even more. But you are like the queen of rebounding. You get defensive rebounds, you get offensive rebounds, you hustle, you play great defense, you have great court awareness. Keep playing your game. Keep playing your game. Now, I want you to listen to the interview on what Angel Reese said about, she don't expect players to like her or to, bow down to her because she's a rookie. Let's kind of get into it. Yeah, this is after the hard foul. Listen to this right here.
Not just because I'm a rookie, I'm a player. I'm a basketball player. They don't give a damn if I'm a rookie. I mean, I want them to come at me every day. I want them to come at everybody. I mean, they're not supposed to be nice to me. I hope y'all know that. They're not supposed to be nice to me or lay down because I'm Angel Reese or because I'm a rookie. Like, thank you, AT, for sending the message to me because I got back up and I kept going and kept pushing. Like, me and AT have been cool since we were in Maryland, so I know it's not no hard feelings, and I appreciate her for going at me every day. What's today?
Listen to it one more time.
It's not just because I'm a rookie, I'm a player. I'm a basketball player. They don't give a damn if I'm a rookie. I mean, I want them to come at me every day. I want them to come at everybody. I mean, they're not supposed to be nice to me. I hope y'all know that. They're not supposed to be nice to me or lay down because I'm Angel Reese or because I'm a rookie. Like, thank you, AT, for sending the message to me because I got back up and I kept going and kept pushing. Like, me and AT have been cool since we were in Maryland, so I know it's not no hard feelings, and I appreciate her for going at me every day. What's today?
Look at that, man. Look at that. How can you let me tell you something? I enjoyed that response from Angel Reese. I enjoyed that response from Angel Reese. See, this is what I'm talking about, the maturity level. This is what I'm talking about. She sounded like a person who had to get it out the mud. She sounded like a person who has been dealing with a lot of hatred and always people want to villainize her for the fullest extent. Let's don't act like it. She sounded like that based off on when you hear Caitlin Clark talks on some of the things that she says a hard foul, but you don't understand that's privilege. That's privilege because she has been given the privilege of getting things handed to her. Caitlin Clark. I don't care who don't like it. She has been given the privilege of things being handed to her. Period. Now, let's kind of get into talk about Charles Barkley comments. Now, listen to this right here.
I want to give LeBron a shout out. You guys know I hate social media. I got to give LeBron a shout out. It's something I read on Bleacher Report. That's the only thing I do.
You do?
Yeah, I love Bleacher Report. That's it.
Expand your horizons.
No, I don't want to listen to all these damn idiots and
What did
fools
he
on the
say?
internet.
What he said?
Yo, man, let me look at this camera right here, 83. You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the
Oh,
world.
you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you 100% right. Y'all girls, stop being petty. Caitlin Clark, thank you for bringing all that money and shine to the WNBA.
Well, they're gonna hate you even more now.
Hey, they can't do anything to me.
They're gonna hate you though.
Hey, they can hate on me, but they better. But that mailman better be in my damn house the first and the 15th for another year. For another year.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Charles Barkley. I thought his comments was way out of bounds. I thought his comments was disrespectful to all the WNBA players who have paid their dues and who have done their rightful thing in trying to expose or bring more exposure to the WNBA. I don't like his comments at all. I don't like them. I did not like his coon comments. Period. Yes, I said it. I did not like his coon comments at all. He sounds like a privileged black man who's been making his millions and someone who is sitting on the top of the hill. But understand that there was a time when you had to fight to get where you're at right now, Charles Barkley. You had to scrap to get where you're at right now, Charles Barkley. You had to prove yourself to get where you're at right now, Charles Barkley. That's right. That's right. Period. Every player in the WNBA, it is extinct where you have WNBA players have to fight and scrap just to make the roster spots. Because you don't have a lot of WNBA teams, which means that you're fighting to keep a job in the WNBA until they're able to expand and create more teams across the country. This is why you had so many WNBA players that were drafted that were waived. They were cut because there are not enough roster spots. Period. So when I hear Charles Barkley says putting all the thank you to Caitlin Clark, like Caitlin Clark is the only reason why they're able to get charter flights. It's bogus. It's BS. He's a coward for that. Yeah, I said it. He's a coward for that. And it's disrespectful. Let's go into this. I want y'all to see this. Go to my Twitter. Listen to what Ellie Duncan had to say.
What else? Who are these? This is only women that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter? What else are these women supposed to do? Fawn over her? Fangirl over her? Bend the fucking knee? Kiss the ring? Like, what do you want from them? We cannot, every time the girl plays a game, she got 40 games, guys. She got 35 more games. We are not every single game going to revisit and retread this same tired ass rhetoric that all these girls are hating on her, and they need to be thankful. They have been. Sure. They've said it time and time and time again. You want the girl every single time she walks out onto the court? What are we supposed to do? You want them all to give Caitlin their firstborn? Like, what are you looking for? It is embarrassing, because if this was the men and you just watched a bunch of other dudes fawn over someone all the time, you'd call them weak. That would be a soft move. Where's your competition? Where's the animus that used to be in the NBA when they really hated each other? Now they're all friends. It's so boring. We hate it. With women, you want them to do what?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. See, I'm a type of person that like to stand up for what's right and like to speak out against the injustices that is going on. Let's don't get it twisted, man. Aja Wilson said it best. This is a black and white issue. She said it best in the interview when Aja said that black women, they feel, when she say they, we're talking about these major companies, these sponsors, they feel that black women are not as marketable as white Caucasian women. And she also went on to say in her interview, Aja Wilson, is that this is a black and white thing. And for those people that disagree with her or say that this is not, I got to call BS on it. Because for Caitlin Clark to get all this type of media coverage, and she's not even the best player. Y'all hear me? She's not even the best player. But the sponsors and also the WNBA has helped push the media hype on Caitlin Clark. They have anointed her as the top player, and they have given her all the marketing chips that she can't even handle, Caitlin Clark. But they have put her on such a pedestal, like she's the savior of the WNBA. It's wrong. It's disrespectful. It's egregious. And for everybody that's making these comments and saying that Caitlin Clark is the reason why the WNBA is well known now. Caitlin Clark is the reason why they got charter flights. Caitlin Clark is the reason why you're generating so much money. Who started this media frenzy hype about Caitlin Clark? Who started it? Think about that. Who started it? It's crazy, man. LeBron James tweeted back in April, if you don't rock with Caitlin Clark game, you're just a flat out hater. Stay far away from these people, please. Really, LeBron? Really, LeBron? He was the same person that disrespected all those players in the NBA by saying that his son is better than over 90% of the players in the NBA. He said he's watching these guys and it's hilarious on how garbage they are. That's what he basically said about his son being better than majority of the players in the NBA right now. Listen to this, what LeBron James had to say right here.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing that's being said. Just go have fun, enjoy, but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. You know, I hope they do great. You know, I'm just kind of in this mode right now because I'm getting the same, you know, thing from watching my son, who's a 19-year-old, kind of getting a lot of animosity and hatred towards him when he's just a kid trying to live out his dream. You know, there's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but
Wrong. Wrong, LeBron. Wrong, LeBron. Wrong, LeBron. I talked about this on several times. Wrong, LeBron. Look right here, y'all. Don't take my word for it. This is what LeBron James had tweeted. And he put a laughing emojis. He said, man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. He said the word shit, lightweight, hilarious, which he followed with 4 laughing emojis. How is that being respectful, LeBron? So that's why when I hear him talk about the Caitlin Clark situations and all that, man, it just go in one ear and go out the other ear, because that's his way of trying to jump on the Caitlin Clark bandwagon and keep his name attached. And then how he added his son and he want to try to play victim like he ain't the one that started the whole media frenzy about his own son. Propping his son up, but in the midst of propping his son up and supporting his son, he have to disrespect current NBA players that's playing in the league now. That's not respectful to them. That's all I got, ladies and gentlemen, man, on this topic of conversation today, man. Feel free to put a like. If you're not subscribed to me on social media, I'm live now on TikTok, on Facebook, and also on YouTube. Go ahead and follow. We talk about all things. We cover sports, especially, and we cover other topics that's engaging topics that I feel like is important to me or intriguing to me to talk about on my platform. Hey, make sure you always keep your head on the swivel, be safe out there, and pay attention to your surroundings. Until next time, man, take care of yourself.